Well, it's an issue that's dominated sport and athletes for a while now. Trans players competing in single-sex sports. Tasmanian Liberal Senator Claire Chandler, a strong advocate on this issue, has tabled a private member's bill in the Senate yesterday evening to legislate for the rights of women and girls and provide legal protection for single-sex sports, facilities and spaces. Claire joins me now. Thank you for your time, Senator. This has been a bill you've been working on very hard, and you want to see some common sense protections. I congratulate you on getting it into the Parliament. Give us some examples of what you want legislated.
Thanks so much for having me on again, Peter, to talk about this incredibly important issue. What I want to see and what my bill will seek to do is ensure that local sporting clubs and administrators and volunteers can't have legal action taken against them if they choose to offer single-sex women's sport. We are unfortunately in a position where currently under the Sex Discrimination Act, there is significant ambiguity around the ability of sporting clubs to be able to do that. So all my bill will be doing is ensuring that we have clarity in the law and that sporting clubs know that they can operate single-sex sport for women without having the fear of legal action against them for doing so.
You know, so much of the time when you talk about this issue, people want to make it about transgender individuals. But I reckon that's upside down. This is actually just simply protecting women and girls, and who could be against that?
Absolutely, Peter. And I have always said that this is a women's rights issue. And the question that everyone should be asking themselves when they're thinking about this issue and when they're thinking about whether or not they're going to support my bill is, do you agree that Australian women and girls have the right to single-sex sport? And I think most common sense Australians would answer yes to that very simple question.
And it's beyond sport too, as we know. You and I have talked about this, the dehumanising of women's language, females' language. We've started to de-link. We're not up for it, but I know a lot of medicos and others, de-linking the word woman from the female sex, getting rid of mother and breastfeeding and all of those terms that I never thought we'd see in dispute to become gender non-specific. There was a story just the other day in the Daily Telegraph, Royal Prince Alfred Hospital in Sydney. They want to rename a standalone mother and baby mental health unit into a parent and baby mental health unit. Now, it was set up for maternal, postnatal depression and all the other issues women face after they've given birth. You seem to be the only one in the government that I talk to about these issues. Is this top of mind for anybody else, Claire?
Oh, look, it's just madness, isn't it, Peter? And I will point out that one of the other things that my bill will seek to do is reinsert the definition of man and woman into the Sex Discrimination Act, because you and I have spoken about this before. Some of the stuff that is coming out of our bureaucracy and from the broader media and our institutions is just crazy. So we need to have these definitions in the Sex Discrimination Act to try and correct back to a far more common sense position. And I think that many of my colleagues would agree with that.
You've got an ally in Catherine Dees. We know that she set up or co-founded an organisation with others to fight for women's sport. She's put her hand up to run in the federal seat of Warringah for the Liberal Party. Apparently the party's knocked her back because she hasn't been a member for long enough. It's got to be over 6 months since she's under that date. Do you think she should be able to have a run?
Well, look, pre-selections in the Liberal Party are always a matter for the members, and I will leave it up to the party members in Warringah to decide who should represent them at the next federal election. But more broadly, we need more women like Catherine running for the Liberal Party. We know that the Liberal Party has been working incredibly hard to ensure that it engages better with women. And a woman like Catherine, who I've worked with very closely on this and other issues, is exactly the kind of person that we should be looking to pre-select.
Well said, Claire. She's not asking to be given the seat or parachuted in. She's just asking for a chance to stand in a pre-selection. I think it would be crazy not to do that. Thank you for your time. More strength to your arm and congratulations on getting that bill in.
Thanks so much, Peter.